Hey, so I'm back in my home office and I thought I'd do this because I'll show you something behind the scenes that I'm doing for how I'm building this new personal brand and creating content, which I think you'll get a lot of value from. I've got some great feedback from people who really enjoy my process for how I'm doing certain things. So I thought I'd share some of that before I share with you the insight for this week's video. So as part of my content creation process, one of the things I'm a big fan of is how can you create something that will serve multiple purposes? So what do I mean by that? Well, you can shoot a one-off video like this and post it on your blog, but how can you shoot something or create some sort of piece of content that can then be used in multiple places? So I'll share with you how I'm doing that right now is I've got about a 20-minute video outlined on my computer. You can see it right behind me. So you can see literally, and I'm recording it too, by the way. Look at this. I'm recording it in two places and I'll tell you why in just a second. But so I've got this outline on my computer for a 20-minute video. It is the 5 steps to learn any new skill or start a business fast. And this is what I've used to literally start the 2 7-figure businesses I've got now, as well as learn other skills. And so here's what I'm doing, and here's how you can use this same approach as well. Is I've got that 20-minute video that I'm gonna shoot after this, and I literally just bulleted out the 5 important points I wanna cover, and then some bullet points underneath it so I know what I'm going to talk about. I wouldn't do like a 20-minute video like that just purely on the fly. So after that, what we're gonna do, my team and I, is I'm going to have my copywriter and content writer literally go through that recording, transcribe it. He does an amazing job, and turn that into an article. So this 20-minute video I'm gonna create, which will take me literally 20 minutes and then the prep time to do it, he's gonna be able to turn that into a great article. And then we're also gonna chop up some of that audio to use as clips on social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, as well as pull some quotes from that piece of content, which again can be used for Facebook and Instagram. So you see how this works? That literally 20-minute piece of content that I'm creating once, I'm creating it one time, can then be used and distributed and syndicated into a bunch of different places. So it serves multiple purposes. And how long does it take me to create that? Well, it took me about 30 minutes to outline the piece of content and put some thought into there, and then takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to actually record it. So it doesn't have to take a long time. And then you'll see this will literally be a week's worth of content. And this is something I do every single week, and you see how it literally turns into a system. So try that out in your own life and your own business. And the most important thing you can learn from this is literally how can you think in multiple dimensions, that you're never doing something for a one-off purpose, but it can serve multiple purposes. And if you do that, I think you'll be a lot more successful, and you'll have a lot more free time in your life and your business as well. So here's the other thing I want to share with you here today, the big insight I've had. I literally almost made a huge mistake in my business. And I'm gonna tell you about that and what I'm doing to correct the course and literally call an audible, so to speak, so that we don't go down into a dead-end path. But when as you know, I'm starting this new brand, the James Mel brand, and that's what I've been working on for the past several months. And my team and I got into this. I'm a huge planner, as you may or may not know. And so we literally planned out the entire year, down to the week. And this is great to do, I believe, if you have an established business. But if you're just getting started in something or a new project, I actually think this can be detrimental. And the reason why is because when you're getting started, you don't know exactly what's gonna work, how it's gonna work, what type of metrics and data you're gonna get back in. Maybe what you do is gonna blow up and be amazing, or maybe it's not. You're gonna have to change courses. And what I've realized in my life and my business, if I plan too far ahead without sort of having some already predictability built in and some success and some results, then things often change or don't work out how I thought. And so I think back to when I got my very first investment property, and I didn't know anything about investing in properties. I'm not a handy person. I'm still not a handy person. But what I did then is I literally had a 90-day goal of I'm going to get my first investment property. And that was all I focused on. I didn't have a year-long, 2-year, 3-year, 5-year-long plan of acquiring a bunch of properties. I just focused on that very first one. And then what happened is as soon as I got that first one, I focused on getting the next one and the next one. Fast forward 3 or 4 years later, once I had a system built up and I knew how everything worked, I was able to build in a lot more predictability. And that's when I started planning 5 and 10 years into the future, which I've now established my goal here now of having 200 units by the time I'm 40 years old. I'm almost 36 by the time I write this. Well, I'm not writing, but shoot this video, you get what I mean. So that was a big mistake. I literally had to go back to my team and be like, hey guys, whoa. I know we love to plan, I love to plan, but we have to realize we're starting a brand new brand, a new business. We have to get back to the basics. So what I recommend for you in your life, in your business, if you're just getting started with something, it's great to plan, but don't get lost in that. Don't create a 2, 3, 5-year vision like they teach you in business school with everything mapped out and all the financials. I recommend focusing on the first 90 days. Pick one goal, the most important one, the highest value thing you can do. Make that the result and just focus on that. And then once you've achieved that, then move on to planning the next 90 days and the next 90 days. And after about a year or two, then you'll have a more established business. You'll probably have a system, you'll have some predictability, and then you can plan longer into the future. That's what I'm personally doing with this new brand. That's what I recommend for you. So try that out. Let me know what your 90-day goal is. Leave me a comment below. I'd love to know. And I will talk to you next week. Have an amazing week in the meantime.